All right, this video is designed to show you how to create bar and pie charts using Google Sheets. And so Google Sheets is a free application for personal use. If you go to google.com/sheets, you should take you to the start of Google Sheets. You'll have a choice to do it as a business or personal use. Let me see, it should look like two back. Yep. Google.com/sheets has the choice of doing personal or business groups. I know that the personal ones are free, so that's the ones I tend to use in there. And I'm going to start off with like a blank worksheet. And I'm going to import some data to start with. I've got an Excel file with the information that I need in it. So I'm going to choose under File, Import. And then I'm going to go find that file, either whether it's on your drive or you might have to upload it if it's on your computer. You can choose and you can upload that sort of thing. It'll take a few minutes typically to do it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. There it is. Own brand. That's the one I want. All right. And then I already have one open, that one, but I'm just going to go ahead and replace that sheet, import that data, and there it is. There's all my data in there. Where I needed it. So this was a survey we did. We asked students on campus what brand of phone they had, and so we've got just a big list of their responses. Some said iPhone, some said a Nokia, some said a Samsung, some said other. And to make a bar chart or a pie chart, one of the things we need to do is summarize that data. We need to know how many responses we got that were iPhone, how many responses were Nokia, how many people said Samsung, and so on. And so what we want to do is we want to make a frequency table. Now, something that you can do to kind of help you with that is to sort the data first, group all the like ones together. That can sometimes help you count if you're going to count by hand. So I'm going to select all my data here. Whoop, that's a little more than all my data. Had some other, I just copied that down. I just replaced everything with the very first thing on the list, iPhone. I don't want to do that. Let me undo that one. All right, let me start at the bottom here and see if I can do that. Okay, don't want to grab my label, but I want to go under data and let's just sort range by column A from A to Z. And that should fix it for us in there. Okay, and so then it makes a good idea to just kind of scroll through this and look at what your responses are. You might have to do a little bit of cleaning up of your data. For example, here the LG is in lowercase, and the lowercase LG will be counted different than the capitalized LG. So you want to change those to match. You don't want to change your data too much. That's generally a rule in stats. You don't want to adjust your data. But sometimes the responses you get from people, you just have to fix. You have to clean them up in there. Some you might have to delete because you can't understand what they said, or, others you might have to make a common formatting. Like if you ask people what country they were born in, and if you're born in the United States of America, you might hear lots of different answers. You might hear USA, you might hear US, you might see America, you might hear United States. So you might get all these different responses that all really mean the same thing, and you have to format those into a common same sort of response. But you want to be careful that you're not accidentally changing the data in that sort of space. Okay, so you can group it together and try counting it that way, but there's also a nice command here in Google Sheets that allow you to count automatically, have it count for you. So I'm going to go to count if. You got to start with the equal sign because that tells it you're entering a formula. Count if, and the way that count if works is you give it a range and then you give it a criteria. So I'm going to ask it to do the range over here. It was A2. You can go all the way down and try to find the N to highlight it, or if you happen to remember that the bottom row was 202. 202 was the bottom number in that row. And then, whoops, I need a comma. And then my criteria I want to use, let me come back up here. Let's see, this one was iPhone. So I'm going to put that in quotes, and it will go through and it will count how many times the exact iPhone. It's got to be exact. It's got to exactly match that iPhone. Whatever you type there, it's got to show up in that spot. Okay, and then so now I need to do to Nokia. I'm going to do the same sort of thing. Well, I wanted to go A2 to A202. 202, I think it was. And then this side, inside of my criteria, I'm going to just click on this Nokia cell, and then it will copy exactly what's count if it's exactly matching what's in that cell. And the nice part of that is that then I can copy that formula down. Oops, I need to adjust that formula just a little bit. I want to put dollar signs in here so that I fix the row. It's going to be fixed at column A, and I want to fix the rows to go from row 2 to row 202. But I don't want to fix that third one. I want to let that D3, I want that to auto adjust. So if you go down to the plus sign, down in this bottom corner, grab that corner and drag down, it will copy that formula down. And as you scroll through these formulas, you'll see that the dollar sign stayed the same, that the range that I'm searching stays the same, but it auto adjusts the column thing that I'm looking for. So here D6 refers to D6, it refers to other. So it goes through and it counts how many values have the value of other. All right, so we want to generate that frequency table. You don't actually have to sort. The first thing I did was sort the data. You don't actually have to sort the data. You could generate the frequency table with unsorted data. So you can save that step if you want. But sorting the data gives you a chance to look for any irregularities in your data. If there's somebody didn't capitalize the P in iPhone, that'll show up. It won't get counted as iPhone with a capital P. So you want to make sure that they're all in the proper formatting in there as well. So sorting helps, but it's not 100% necessary if you trust your data in there. And then sometimes you'll be given this frequency table, and then all you have to do is type in the frequency table. That's very helpful if you have your frequency table. All right, but now that you've got your table all set up, I'm just going to select that table, and I'm going to choose the insert option, and I want to insert a chart, and it starts off with a pie chart. So you have an option to do a pie chart. If you do the chart type, you can select different types of charts. You can do like a bar chart or a column chart, or you can make it go this way. I guess for some reason both Excel and Google Sheets says bars go sideways and columns go up and down. I guess columns do go up and down. Like if you're looking at the columns on a building, those are usually vertical sort of things. So bars across the door, are they? Well, they're not always horizontal. I don't know. Anyway, whatever you want it to be. So you want your pie chart there, and then you can go in and you can change the label. So my label is phone brand. I think you can data range. I've got the value showing there. What other things can you do? You go around and play around with these sorts of things. Legend. Maybe instead of having these little call outs off to the side, you just want to put a legend. You can put a legend down at the bottom or on the left hand side, and then it just has the colors with their counts in there. So you can play around. Labeled is this one with this thing. You can play around with the legends. If you want, you can go around and change the color. Like if you get a particular slice, like apples here, apples should be the Apple iPhone. It should be a bright red because apples are bright red. Well, maybe that's a little too bright. Maybe I want to mute it down a little bit. nice red delicious apple color. You know, you can change the colors around, or maybe you like green apples, so maybe you want to turn that iPhone green. But you can change that. You can also increase you can pull it out. Like if you want to highlight a particular pie slice, you can pull it out of the center. Let me do that over here with the Samsung slice. I think Samsung wants to be green. Oh, that's a bright green. Oh well. And then you can maybe, if you want to slide it out, you can slide it out so that it makes it more like make the rest of your chart look like a pie chart or like a Pac-Man figure or something like that. So in there. But you can play around with those things, change the settings, do whatever you want, and then once you're done with it, I'm going to put it back in there. I'm going to go make that iPhone. I like that. We'll just leave it that color. I might want to change the LG and the Nokia. Those are pretty close together. Maybe we could do some research on what their company brand colors is and try to match their company brand things. Like we were doing cell phone providers, T-Mobile has that bright pink, and so you'd want to turn your slice of T-Mobile slice bright pink, kind of thing. Whatever you want to do in there. So that's there. All right, chart editor, and there I'm done with my chart. If you want to take that chart, I think you can highlight it, and if you want, you can print it. But it prints that whole chart, filling up one whole page. So sometimes if you've got a couple different charts you want to print at once, rather than filling up a whole page with them, it might be kind of nice to just sort of shrink them down a little bit and do another chart side by side, and then print 2 or 3 charts at once. Might be a little bit nicer. Is there an export option? Download, so you can, that's more of the chart. It's more of the file itself, not necessarily just the chart. If you want to separate out just the chart, one of the nice ways, if you want to turn it like into a picture or something, is to use the snipping tool. It's a Windows default program that's built into Windows, and just do a new snip. It looks like nothing it's changed, and you can just go and grab this sort of thing, and it will turn your chart into a PDF or a PNG file, a graphics file. So this is a Portable Networks graphic file. You can also do a JPEG or a GIF or some other type of file, whatever file type you like the best. But you can grab it and pull it out with the snipping tool to turn it into a graphics instead of a sheet file. That's sometimes useful. Let's not save that shift. All right, so there's a pie chart. If I want to look at a bar chart, might be good if I want to do a bar chart. Let's again do the insert chart, and then you can do the choose the type. Where did the type go? It's taking me back to the... Is it not letting me do 2 charts of the same data? What's going on here? Chart style. I guess I'm in pie chart mode. How can I get into... Oh, you got copy, publish, cool. Those are all good commands that show up there. There we are, chart type. Now I can change the chart type to a bar chart instead. And you can do the same sort of things. You can grab a particular row, and you can change its color. This is all of them. But grab a particular one, change the fill color of just that one row. You can change the fill color of all the rows. Play around with it. Be a little artistic. You can play around and make things look the way that you want them to look. I think you can edit the top. Can you edit the title? Yeah, so this one here, I probably want to change this to phone brand instead of frequency. Having the bar chart say phone brand versus frequency isn't so bad in there. But you can play around with things, get them to work the way you want it to work, or look the way you want to look. All right, so have fun, play around with it, enjoy. It's hard to break computer programs these days, so and then you can always go back to a previous version if you get something really screwed up. That's the thing. Undo is a very useful feature. The undo option is always very useful when you get something weird. But all right, have fun.